It's the most wonderful time of the year, but winter holidays can also be dangerous if you forget about some basic fire safety.
Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are two of the top days for home fires to break out. Candles, Christmas trees, kitchen fires all pose risks that can be devastating. It's always a great idea to review fire safety tips. And joining us with some life-saving information is Susan McKelvey. She is the spokesperson for the National Fire Prevention Association, or NFPA. The nonprofit is dedicated to eliminating death, injury, and property loss from fire and electrical showers. Susan, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
I'm happy to be here.
And I wanted to start by asking about Christmas tree fires. They aren't that common, but when they happen, they can be very serious. And I know your organization has a video that you shared with us about how this happens. Can you tell us what we're seeing?
Sure. So what you see is a side-by-side burn of a Christmas tree that's been well watered, it's hydrated, versus a tree that is dried out. And you can see just how quickly a dried out tree can go up in flames. Christmas tree fires are large combustible items that we bring into our home. Fresh trees in particular, even if they are well watered, they're flammable objects, and they do continue to dry out over time when they're in our home. So it's really important to understand that they do present potential risks. So you want to make sure that you are keeping them well watered, but also that, when the holiday is over, it's time to get them out of your home, because they can be extremely dangerous when they do happen. They don't, like you said, they don't happen very often, but when they do, they tend to be serious, and you can see why.
Well, it's funny, we've mentioned, and you just mentioned again, that it doesn't happen often, but it's like the scariest thing that I think of with my Christmas tree at the house. So besides keeping your tree watered, the NFPA offers some other important tree tips. What would those be?
Sure. So if you were using electrical lighting on your tree, you want to make sure that the lights are in good working order, that there are no cracks or frays, that the light bulbs on them are all working. If you have a bulb that's not working, make sure to replace it. And then when you're not there to monitor the tree, if you go to sleep at night, you leave your home, make sure that you unplug lights. You shouldn't have lights on the tree when you're not there to keep a close eye on it.
And Susan, I wanted to ask you about lights, because you can string together lights, but how many is safe?
Traditionally, with older lights, we used to say a maximum of 3 sets of lights. With LED lighting, you tend to have a little more flexibility. But what you always want to do is make sure you're following the manufacturer's instructions for usage. Not all lights are designed for just indoor or outdoor use. They sometimes for both. But you want to make sure, however you're planning to use lights, that you have the right types of lights for where you're going to decorate with them. So make sure that when you do buy lights, that they bear the mark of an independent testing laboratory, which shows that the lights have been tested to meet established safety standards, and that you really do follow the manufacturer's instructions on how to use them properly.
I have definitely violated the three-strand rule, that's for sure. All right, so candles are another, I guess, a holiday tradition for Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. But again, we know, this can be very dangerous as well. So what are your safety tips for people who are using candles in their homes?
Sure. Like you said, candles, December is a leading month for candle fires in the U.S. Christmas Day, Christmas Eve are the leading days of the year for candle fires. So you want to use them with care. Make sure that they're on a sturdy surface in a place where they can't be knocked over or easily bumped into. Make sure, children, pets can't get access to them. You also want to make sure that they're at least a foot away from anything that can burn, any kind of greens. That gets a little tricky during the holidays. We all see decorations with candles and greens around them, and it looks so pretty, but that presents a fire hazard. So if you do want to decorate with other greens or other kind of decorations, use battery-operated candles instead. It eliminates the risk of a fire, but also really important, when you leave the room or go to sleep, make sure to blow candles out.
Yeah, good information. Holiday entertaining also has some risks. NFPA recommending going over a checklist before guests arrive.
Yeah, you want to make sure that your home is in good shape, that it's safe. Your guests and your family are well protected, smoke alarms and all the proper locations, that they're in good working order. Make sure that no exits are blocked. People have access to doors and windows. And then also, if you are doing a lot of cooking in your home, a lot of people, you have family, friends, make sure that you have the ability to stay in the kitchen and keep a close eye on what you're cooking. Cooking's a leading cause of home fires year-round. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day are two of the top days of the year for home cooking fires. Unattended cooking is a leading cause of home fires, so it sounds easy to watch what you're cooking. You have lots of guests in your homes. It's easy to get distracted, but make sure you have a plan in place so that you are able to keep a close eye what's on the stove and in the oven.
All right, Susan McKelvey from the National Fire Prevention Agency. Susan, thanks so much for taking a few moments for us.
Thanks so much.
All right, for more holiday fire safety information, go to our website, cbsnewyork.com.